Today's reading is all about what is around the corner for you. So we are going to be delving into your near future and what you can expect. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for these messages. But as always, we have some piles to choose from and they go as such. The first pile is represented by this card, as well as the astro die with the 10th astrological house. The second pile is represented by this card, as well as the astro die with the North Node. The third pile is represented by this card and the astro die with the sign Sagittarius. If you already know exactly which pile is calling out to you, then you can skip straight to the description box and click on the timestamp that you need that will take you to your reading. But if you are new to this, or you just need some pointers on how to go about choosing the right pile for you, a few of my recommendations would be to first try and get grounded in this present moment. And to do that, you may want to take some deep breaths to begin with. Close your eyes as well to tune out any distractions or noises. And feel your way through your body. Get really in touch with how you are feeling. And as you open your eyes and look at these piles again, see what is coming up for you. Is there a sensation that you feel? Maybe there is something that you hear or see. Maybe there is a specific symbol or color that your eye is drawn to. Just follow that nudge or intuitive voice, however it speaks to you. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And having said all of that, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so excited to dig into these messages for you and spend this time with you today. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for any support that you have also shown me or this channel. But let's jump straight to the cards here. So we have some pre-prepared oracle cards and we're going to get to those in a sec. I first want to see what I am feeling intuitively off of the card that you chose. So we have She Who Calms, Stillness, Purity, and Quiet. And we also have this 10th astrological house, which I'm just going to put over here. So I'm getting the sense that with these keywords, as well as the 10th astrological house being the focus here, it seems to talk about your reputation or just how people see you, what you are known for, and possibly even for some of you, what you do as a career. And all of this is giving me a very soothing sort of vibe. It feels like you have the ability to calm down any tensions or any explosive or negatively charged energies, because I feel like there is this almost this ancient wisdom about you. I'm looking at this owl here too, and it does seem to coincide very well with the sort of energy that you seem to be in, where you know what to do at certain times. It feels like maybe it has something to do with the experiences that you have had, but I just feel like there is intuitive gifts about you. Like you just intuitively know what to do or what to say in order to de-escalate certain situations or bring about a more peaceful and calm or serene atmosphere or environment. It almost gives me this sense that you yourself could be a person who is very well able to keep a calm and level-headed mindset or attitude towards things, especially when, you know, everyone else like freaks out or panics quite easily. Maybe there is, maybe you are in a position of authority or have some like important position regarding what you do at work or maybe even just in your family dynamic or your friend group or something like that. It doesn't have to be professional per se, but it feels like you have this innate skill set that makes it very easy for you to take charge of situations and kind of do the right thing or act in the right manner or in the rational manner. Now, this may be more of a specific message, but I do feel that potentially some of you could be in a space where you are like in between jobs, or where maybe you are transitioning from one area of work to another. Maybe you are even switching career paths, so like doing something completely different or starting to do something completely different. So you could be in this downtime right now, or maybe, yeah, maybe some of you are in a place where you are kind of closing out the last sort of ties, or saying goodbye to certain things, preparing yourself to leave this old place or this old position and getting ready to step into the new one. But I feel like there is this liminal space that you seem to be in. But again, it is most likely a very specific message. And this may also be more of a specific message, but I do feel that some of you could be taking some time out from your career responsibilities, or from sort of what you have to do, or the responsibilities that you have to uphold, or some arrangements. It feels like you are potentially just allowing yourself to take a breather and really recharge before getting back into the fray, I want to say. So yeah, whether this is just like a holiday or vacation that you are on, whether this is some sort of like taking a break more long term from work, or even like from studies or something like that, but more likely it has something to do with your career, or again, what you are known for because of this 10th house association. So anyway, as I said, again, it may be more of a specific message, but I just wanted to put it out there in case it speaks to someone. Now, that is pretty much it for the intuitive part. So if you are still somewhat iffy, or you are not sure whether this is your pile, stay tuned for the oracle cards as well, because we're going to look at what is occurring in your life right now. So hopefully as you listen to these messages, it will be a lot easier for you to understand whether this is your pile or not. We have ambush fear with your ferocious dream, resilience, rest and renewal, divine guidance, and bravely market your magic. Pile number one, I am definitely feeling a heavy undercurrent of work or career in these cards. So it does seem to be something that is very much at the forefront of your mind right now, or maybe if it's not even specifically work that you do sort of day to day, maybe this is some sort of dream of yours, something that you want to one day be known for, or something that you want to have as your craft, you know, something that you want to perfect or get better at, and possibly one day call your career or call your main source of income. But yeah, with this ambush fear with your ferocious dream as well as resilience, it does seem like there is this career ambition of yours, or something that you want to achieve that you don't yet have, something that you seem to be working towards, but it may be quite a ways away, or just require a lot of persistence and push through energy on your part. Especially with this resilience, it feels like there could be not that many signs of progress or success that you are seeing, or it may just take a very long time. I'm looking at the elephant on this card too, the elephant symbol, and it does seem like it's taking a very long time. Like there's something slow about the way that this thing is progressing or moving, and because of it, I'm also getting like pulled in towards the word fear. So because of this slow progression, there may be doubt that is creeping up for you, where you start hesitating, where you start thinking whether this is the right thing for you, whether this is going to happen, and all of that. Now, the thing that is interesting here, though, is this rest and renewal card. So that seems to confirm that at this time you are in a bit of a space where you are maybe taking a break, or where you are allowing yourself to recharge and renew. Just like we were talking about with the intuitive part 2, there seems to be a space where you are in this, like, as I said, like in this liminal space right now. And obviously this is a very important place to be, because it feels like it's needed in order for you to get the motivation or the drive to keep pushing ahead, especially because, again, it feels like you are having to rely on yourself quite a lot here, and it may be difficult to see like confirmations or signs around you that everything is going according to plan. We have this stars and divine guidance card here, which I find interesting that it's here, because again, I feel like it's talking about this divine guidance being kind of silent, or like it's not really visible or like palpable right now. Again, because it's next to this rest and renewal card, it almost feels like the divine energies are also a lot more quiet, a lot more subtle, and it's like they are on hold as well, or on pause, and it feels like you are almost forced to be your own cheerleader, or like keep yourself going and keep reinforcing the faith in yourself, which I feel like you are actually very well equipped to do that. Again, because of this owl energy, I'm getting a very strong association with the owl as a symbol and yourself. I don't know, maybe that is just like an aside, but yeah, this divine guidance, I do feel like you could be getting certain messages, or especially if you are meditating, or you know, doing these spiritual practices, it may be that you are getting some sort of divine insight as a result of that. But again, I almost feel like it's really subtle, or it's like it's difficult to pick up on it. So mostly I feel like this is all kind of relying on you to have this sense of blind faith, and to have this belief in yourself that you are going to get there one day. We also have bravely market your magic. This once again seems to hint at you needing to vouch for yourself, like brand yourself, I almost want to say. Even though there is this like slow moving progress, or like you're kind of having to go into this thing blind and kind of rely on yourself more so than anything else, and keep your own spirits up, keep your motivation going, even if, you know, you may feel like you are getting tired, or maybe you are starting to lose hope a bit. But I do feel like you are hanging in there. Yeah, I mean, especially for those of you who resonated with having those sort of characteristics where you are able to keep a level head, and you are able to not allow your emotions to get the best of you. Especially if you resonate with that description that came through from the intuitive part 2, I feel like it may be a lot easier for you to go through this period where I feel like you are being tested a bit, and really forced to step into this self-reliance. So pile number 1, I don't know, that is what is coming through from these oracle cards. Hopefully it made it easier to resonate with this pile, and it made sense to you, I hope. So if that is the case, stay tuned for this next part, because now we are going to look into what is happening in the near future for you, what is around the corner. And we're going to be doing it a bit differently this time. I'm going to also use some oracle cards to get these messages, and we're going to get 3 separate messages to give us a glimpse into what are some of the most important things that you are going to be experiencing in the near future. And we're also going to open these oracle cards up with a few tarot cards. So let's see what we can get for you. So what will occur in the near future for you? Okay. Interesting. We have the Crown coming through first, and we have the Five of Coins with the Two of Wands that came out in reverse, as well as, oh, sorry, you can't see it, as well as the Wheel of Fortune, that is the underlying energy. Sign-wise, I'm going to point out the zodiac signs as well, just in case you resonate with them. We have Taurus coming out with the Five of Coins and Aries with the Two of Wands. We also have Sagittarius and Pisces with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, let's begin with the Crown card first, which I absolutely love for you, pile number one, because this is telling me that things are going to start looking up for you, especially when it comes to recognition and you starting to feel a lot more confident, maybe even starting to see people react differently or starting to see certain fruits of your labor come about. Because this Crown is giving me the vibe of up-leveling in some sense, or reaching some sort of higher status, maybe even proving your worth to yourself, I feel like first and foremost, but also others as well. And basically just, yeah, I feel like this is admiration or recognition, or, you know, people actually giving you credit where credit is due, and starting to see things become a bit more easy, starting to see things move more so in your direction. And I also say that because of this Wheel of Fortune as the underlying energy, which is giving a very clear indication that things are going to be turning around. Things are going to be starting to move along a bit more easily now. Like I said, with the Crown, it feels like the wheel is going to be turning in your favor, because the Wheel of Fortune is coming out upright, which means that luck is going to be on your side. Or again, things just start moving along now, whereas maybe previously, which I feel like these two cards are talking about, they haven't been that easy to deal with. With the Five of Coins, it does seem like this period of lack or period of feeling like your needs are not being met, like you are not getting the results or the rewards that you have been expecting with the Two of Wands here. This period of like putting in the work or going through it, basically. This feels like drudgery to me. Going through it, really like sticking it out, even though it isn't easy, even though you may feel like giving up, or there may potentially have been instances, several of them, where you have been tempted to walk away or to leave it as it is because of not being able to see any results. With this Two of Wands, this is a very clear indication that the plans haven't really manifested in the way that you had intended them to, that you haven't really seen too many possibilities, potentials, opportunities, any like doors or any places of advancement opening up. Whereas now, I feel like that is about to change with this Crown here. I don't necessarily feel like a direct correlation with money with the Five of Coins. I don't feel like it's talking about money per se. I just feel like it's talking about this feeling of something missing, feeling like you are not content, like you don't have what you need. And again, it seems to be talking about like rewards more broadly. So I just love that that is the sort of energy that is going to be subsiding, or, you know, where things are starting to move in the right direction now. So I really, really love that for you. But let's look at the second message. So what else is happening in the near future for you? Okay. So we have Judgment in reverse with the King of Pentacles and the Two of Coins that are clarifying this intuitive card featuring some planets. So astrologically, we have the sign of Scorpio coming out. We also have Taurus, and we have Capricorn with the Two of Coins. So I just want to point out before we get into the cards that we had this Garden of Venus card as well, and Venus is the ruling planet of both Taurus and Libra, and we haven't really seen Libra come out yet, but we have seen Taurus come out in both instances. So I do feel like Taurus is the most significant sign here at this time. So you may have significant Taurian placements, and if that's the case, this may be more of a confirmation that this is your pile. But anyway, so we have this planets card coming out first, or this solar system card. And first off, I do feel that you are going to start feeling this connection with the divine again, because as I said, it feels like there may have been radio silence for the time being, or you may just have felt like a bit of a distance from that, or like it is difficult to connect to that sort of energy. But this is giving me the vibe, especially with the Judgment card in reverse. This seems to indicate that this like disconnect that you have been feeling, that seems to be corrected here, or like there is like there is this resuming of security, or resuming of this strong connection. Because I do feel that for some of you, you are very, very spiritual in nature, and I feel like there is a very deep connection that you have with either God, or with your spirit guides, with your spiritual team, with angels, or your ancestors, or anything like that, whoever you resonate with. It just feels like there is a very strong connection, or a very strong bond that you have with them, or that you have had with them. And yeah, it just feels like that pause is sort of going to be coming to an end here. But I also feel like there may be this broadening of horizons, or like things are being turned up a notch, because I feel this energy of expansion off of this card as well. Like things are becoming a lot bigger, or just like more big scale. So especially because, again, we have this Judgment in reverse and the King of Pentacles. And I do feel like this expansion is more so talking about this, or is coming through with the King of Pentacles energy, where maybe with the Judgment card coming out in reverse, there have been certain, again, hesitations, or where maybe you have held yourself back from taking some sort of next step, or taking a leap into like doing things in a different way, or yeah, like I feel expansion. That's really all I want to say for some reason. So there may have been some blocks, or just, again, some doubts, some fears, some hesitations with taking certain next steps. But this King of Pentacles is telling me that you seem to be finding some level of confidence, or just this sense of security, because the King of Pentacles is like the most secure, the most safe, the most grounded and tethered of all of the court cards, really. And so there really isn't anything to fear. And I feel like as you get to this place, it is going to be a lot easier for you to actually like take those steps, or take that plunge into something new. And I do feel with Judgment in reverse that this is not something that is going to be coming as this like aha moment. I feel like this aha moment has already occurred, or this thing, this expansion idea is something that you have been possibly like ruminating on, or something that you have been considering, something that has been at the back of your mind, but I feel like you just haven't acted on it. And that seems to be changing here, especially, again, because we have this cute little Two of Coins as the underlying energy. So it does seem like you're going to start shaking things up a bit, adding something new to the mix, or just bringing in a slight change. But this is the Two of Coins. So I feel like it's not something necessarily like massive, or something that will hugely take you out of what you have been doing before. This just seems to be something that you are taking on, or something that you are adding to what is already there. Doing something little, taking this little step in order to start like upscaling or broadening this thing. Anyway, let's look at the final thing, the final message that Spirit has for you regarding what is around the corner. Okay, so we have this dandelion card, and we also have the Page of Wands with the King of Cups coming out in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse as the underlying energy. Quite a lot of court cards here. With the Page of Wands, we have fire energy, so that would be Aries, Leo, Sag. We also have Scorpio, again, coming out with the King of Cups, and more Capricorn with the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so I do get the sense with this dandelion card that you are going to possibly start exploring something new as well. This is a card of making a wish, or like planting a seed of some kind, or just like putting your idea out there, like throwing it out into the universe and just sort of seeing what happens. So this seems to be potentially some sort of new idea that you get, an inspiration of some kind, maybe even getting the courage to try something completely different, something completely out of your comfort zone, which I do get with both of these cards here. We have the Page of Wands and the King of Cups in reverse. So there is something, maybe this is an idea that is presented to you. Maybe you kind of stumble upon it sort of randomly. But it definitely feels like something is being sparked in you, because this Page of Wands does seem to be your energy, or I feel at least very strongly that this is your energy. And it seems like there is a little spark that is lit up in you, something that is potentially just an idea, something that is potentially just a pipe dream, or something that you are thinking of as like a nice to have, or what a cool thing it would be if that were possible, or something like that. So it seems to be this like daydream type thing. But again, it feels like it's very much out of your regular comfort zone with the King of Cups coming out in reverse. Maybe this is even something that you have dreamed of at one point, but that maybe you kind of suppressed or pushed aside. Because the King of Cups in reverse can also talk about certain hidden or deeply buried feelings or desires, especially because we have fire here too, right? Which is very passionate, very fiery. And it does feel like you may get the courage or the urge to actually start playing around with that idea some more. Again, with the King of Cups coming out in reverse, it may be that you are not fully clear on where that path is going to lead, or why you even want to do it, or why you want to try it. And there may not be a specific plan in place here, but it just feels like the potential of something, or like the beginning of something that may bring you a lot of happiness down the line, or maybe even some feelings that you haven't dared open up or explore within yourself. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that is more of a specific message. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we also have the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse. And I really mainly only feel this message of like leaving your comfort zone, you know, because the Queen of Pentacles is again a very grounded, a very steady energy. They also kind of tend to play it safe. They don't really take any risks. And I feel like especially when it's coming out in reverse, it feels like there is something about holding yourself back, not really daring to venture too far out of your safe zone or what you are used to. But again, there is something so like lovely and optimistic about this energy. Almost like you are allowing yourself to dream a little bigger. Open your mind and open your heart to something that you maybe didn't believe would be an opportunity for you or a possibility for you. But I also want to say with the King of Cups in reverse, it feels like for some of you, this is something that you have been secretly wanting or secretly hoping for, but like suppressed or pushed down for whatever reason, most likely because of fear or not wanting to deal with rejection or not wanting to deal with the pain of not getting it. But yeah, I love this childlike enthusiasm or optimism that is coming through this. And it also feels like it's almost like this adventure. And I feel like the fun part of it is that you don't know where it is going to lead you. But I do feel like a very exciting new door may be opening for you, or like the beginning stages of something cool. Anyway, those were the messages, pile number 1. I hope you had fun listening to them, but we are going to close the reading out with a last oracle card message, and this is going to be simply a loving message of support from spirit regarding your reading. So let's see. Okay. So the card that you got is Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. Yeah, this feels like it's just a nice little wrap-up message that seems to point back to everything that we have been talking about. With this take time to reflect, it feels like this in-between space where you are right now, or where you are potentially taking things a bit more easy, or just not pushing yourself too hard. That seems to be exactly the right time and the right place for you. Spirit seems to say that it's important to embrace this period of time right now and just allow things to kind of unfold without necessarily pushing yourself too hard, or trying to like make this process speed up. Because yeah, it feels like there is a very important reason behind this downtime that you are in right now. We also have Direction Guardian, choose your path. Yeah, it does feel like I'm looking at the center of this card, and it's reminding me of this Wheel of Fortune card that we got earlier. So it does feel like you are going to be in a position very soon, I feel like, where you're going to have some opportunities, some decisions to make possibly, and I feel like you can't really go wrong, is what I want to say. But yeah, it's almost giving this reassuring vibe that this period of reflection, this period of downtime is not going to last forever. It's going to be ending quite soon, but just sort of embrace it and really sit with your emotions, sit with yourself for the time being, so that you could get the most benefit out of this time that you are in right now. And then things will start speeding up for you. But pile number 1, wow, I had so much fun delivering these messages. I hope that you had fun listening to them. If you are still here, by the way, leave me, let's see. Leave me an elephant emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you are here, that you watched this reading all the way through, and that you got something useful from this. I absolutely love hearing from you. So yeah, I hope to see you in the comment section. But as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, more insights and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen, and I am so excited to dig into these messages with you and look at what is around the corner. Now, I want to say also a huge thank you to anyone who has been supporting my channel and supporting me, all of the likes, the comments, the subscribes, everything like that. It helps me out immensely, so thank you so much for doing that. But let's jump straight to it. So I'm going to feel my way through this card that you chose intuitively and see what I'm picking up on it. So you chose the She Who Hesitates, Ponder, Delay, Confidence, as well as the Astro die with the North Node on it. And since there's not that much to look at on the Astro die, I'm just going to place it over here. But pile number 2, I feel a heavy energy of procrastination coming through from this card. There's clearly something that is your trait, something that is your skill, something that is your gift or talent, you know, something that you know that you have to do. Because we have this North Node energy here too, so it's clear that there is some sort of deeper soul pull that you feel towards something. But for whatever reason, it feels like you are not that confident in it right now. Or again, you could be in a space of procrastination, or just finding other ways to like distract yourself, or maybe even finding certain excuses that you have to take care of other things and you can't put that much time or energy into this thing that truly is your calling. Now, that is such a human thing to do. I mean, we've all been there, I'm sure, where like this sense of not really feeling too confident, not feeling too sure whether that is the right thing, whether there is something else that you should be doing. I feel like at this time, there is something about you wanting to not be too visible, or like, I'm looking at this card and the way that she's hiding herself, and the way that the shadow is playing the violin, but she seems to not even want to look at it. Now, the message that I'm also getting here is that for some of you, it could be that you have been honing that skill or honing that craft for so long that you are getting to a point where you are kind of getting sick of it a bit, or where you are losing the joy in it. But obviously that is a more of a specific message. It's not going to resonate for all of you. For others of you, it just feels like there is potentially fear of like showing up or being in the public eye with this thing, and being very vulnerable with what that skill or what that gift is, because it's clear that it's something very, very special to you, something that means a lot to you, and something that potentially reveals a very raw or fragile part of you, you know? And because it's so close to home, because it's so true to your heart, it feels scary revealing it to people or putting it out there for other people to tear apart or critique, you know, share their opinions on. Like, yeah, being in that public space for some reason feels like it's really, really scary for you right now. Yeah, I feel like maybe some of you even are in this position where you are doubting or second guessing yourself, second guessing whether this thing is actually the right thing for you. Like, the thing that you have been doing, the thing that you have been practicing, it most likely is something that you haven't just recently taken up. And I feel like it's not necessarily even tied to your work or your profession, even though for some of you that may be the case. But I just feel like it's something that lifts you up, something that brings you joy, something where you kind of lose yourself in the process, whether this is some sort of art thing like drawing or painting or sculpting, or maybe it is playing an instrument, or maybe it is writing, maybe it is some sort of handicraft thing. But it feels like this thing puts you in the flow state, if you know what that is, like where you actually lose all sense of time and space, and you just kind of get sucked into the process, and you just do it for the sake of being in that process. You enjoy it that much, and you don't necessarily do it to get something out of it. You just do it because you enjoy it so much, and because it seems to put you in touch with something that is so deeply you, some very authentic core part of you. And I feel like I feel like there is something magical about this. Obviously with the North Node here too, it feels like it's no coincidence, it's no accident that you feel so strongly towards this thing, towards expressing yourself like that. But yeah, there is a certain questioning that you seem to be in right now, and it may be because of like either certain doubts that you have about yourself, and maybe even feeling a bit scared of like putting yourself in this position where other people can have a say, or yeah, it may be the reason for some of you that you are hesitating or procrastinating. But for others of you, it just feels like you may not feel like you are good enough yet. You may not feel worthy of doing it like on a public level or something like that. But yeah, that is just the intuitive part here, pile number 2. So if you are still a bit iffy, if you are not sure that this is your pile, then stick around for these oracle card messages, because we're going to take a look at what is happening in your life right now. So as you listen to these messages, it should be fairly obvious to you whether this is your pile or not, based on whether you recognize yourself in these cards or not. Okay, we have raw intention. We have endings, groupthink, opportunity, and fierce serenity. Pile number 2, let's start from the beginning. We have this raw intention card that is coming out first, and it does seem like there is a lot of power and a lot of emotion behind this thing or this craft of yours. With this raw intention, it feels like it's almost not something that you are in control of. It feels like it's controlling you, but not in a bad way. Like, not in a way that you are like completely helpless or something. It just feels like it's something so powerful because it's supposed to push you to do it, push you to be more in that energy and to want to be more in that energy. Now, I also feel with this endings card that you may be thinking very heavily about this craft or this thing, or maybe even the reason why you are in this procrastination energy is because of some of the things that you would have to let go of, or some of the things that you would have to change as a result of following this passion or following this path. Like, I mean, both of these cards are actually making me think of like fear. Like, there is fear regarding how your life or how your reality would change, and the fact that you would have to leave behind a certain level of comfort or a certain level of safety. And there is something something quite triggering about that, even though I know that that word is so overused, but it really feels impactful here. And the thing that I find very interesting is that at the center card, we have this mindful groupthink card, which is indicating the power of the mind and what is going on in the mind and how it can influence the reality that we end up experiencing. So with groupthink, I do feel like, first off, this may indicate the some of the more like serious or negative thoughts that are maybe cropping in your head, again, that seem to be holding you back or pushing you into that space where you are doubting yourself, where you are doubting your gift, where you are doubting your skills, whether this is meant for you, whether you are doing the right thing, etc., etc. That seems to be what it's talking about. But also there is another confirmation of possibly you keeping yourself busy or distracting yourself with other things. And finally, I feel like the emphasis here is also on like the energies that are surrounding you at this time and the influences that other people are having on you as well. With this groupthink, it may be that some of your thoughts or some of your fears are as a result of other people projecting certain things onto you, or maybe trying to, like talk you out of it, talk you out of things. But I don't feel like it's necessarily from a bad place, or it's coming from a bad place. It just feels like they have certain fears of their own that is holding them back. And so it's almost involuntarily, I don't know whether that's a word, but it's involuntary, but they seem to be projecting it onto you, like almost trying to keep you safe, right? Quote unquote, trying to keep you safe. So it may be that you are in this very influenced state right now. And it may be kind of, pouring, like, what's the expression? Pouring oil or in the fire or something like that. It seems to be exacerbating things. So first off, possibly the energies that you are around at this time, that could be something that is also making it more difficult for you to not think about the worst case scenarios or these doubts or fears, but also just potentially having your mind kind of go rampant a bit. Now, with this opportunity card, it feels like there may be certain opportunities around you, or maybe you have been presented with something that has also caused you to pull back into your shell a bit. This feels like a way to expand or to show up in a more visible sense, something that again, would kind of take you away from where you have been or what you are used to. And it seems to be that there is something, again, there's something scary about that. So maybe all of this doubt and maybe all of this hesitation has also been brought on, maybe for some of you, because of this opportunity, because some doors has opened for you, or some opportunity has been presented to you. And maybe that is something that has caused this frenzy of emotions. And the final card here is Fierce Serenity, with this little lion symbol here too. And this is the number 8 card, which is tied to strength in tarot. Again, we're dealing with self-belief, we're dealing with confidence, and we're dealing with some of these, like, I don't want to say lower vibrational, but some of these instincts that are almost like deeply embedded in us. And those seem to be coming to the surface. So again, I don't know, it just feels like there is so much emotion here that you seem to be dealing with at this time, potentially trying to sift through your mind, sift through your thoughts. And maybe this groupthink is also talking about asking for opinions from other people. Maybe you are reaching out to your friends, maybe you're reaching out to family, or just people that you look up to, people that you trust. And maybe you are reaching out to them for certain like advice or certain guidance on how to go about things, or what you should do, whether you should accept something or whether you should turn it down, all of those sorts of things, which, I mean, obviously you can do what you really want to do, but I feel like all of this other people influence, that seems to be muddying the waters even more, rather than making anything more clear or more understandable for you. So yeah, that is what I am feeling here. Quite anxious, this energy, I have to say. So if you resonate with this, if that is the state that you are in right now and these messages spoke to you, then definitely stay tuned, because now we are going to get into the messages regarding what is around the corner for you. So we're going to do this a bit differently this time. Instead of jumping in straight with some tarot cards, we are going to get 3 separate messages with some oracle cards, and we are going to open those messages up with tarot. So let's see, what is the first message regarding what is happening in the near future for you. Okay, so pile number 2, we have this snow globe that came out, and tarot card wise, we have the 6 of Cups that came out in reverse with the King of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords as the underlying energy. I'm going to point out some of the zodiac signs that are coming through here in case it means something to you, in case you resonate with them or you recognize them around you. So with the 6 of Cups, we have Scorpio. With King of Pentacles, we have Taurus, and the 9 of Swords is Gemini. Okay, I'm getting 2 distinct messages here. The first one that I feel is that, I'm going to start with these 2. The first one that I feel is that some of you are going to be sort of coming out of this negative influence of the people around you who are like instilling some doubt in you, or, you know, just making you sort of second guess yourself. It seems to be something that you are distancing yourself from, or that you seem to find a certain level of confidence or safety within yourself where you don't really need other people's validation or other people's support. And it seems to make things a lot easier for you, where you are able to feel safe within yourself and sort of minimize these negative thoughts that we have over here that are also portrayed with the 9 of Swords. Yeah, clearly this whole sort of advancement or progress that is happening has to do with, again, these fears or anxieties that are cropping up. That's what this 9 of Swords is talking about. So I love that that's the feeling that is about to change. But as I said, that was just the first scenario. The second scenario that I feel is that this King of Pentacles could be another person, and this person may be the one who helps you out of this doubtful energy, or where you feel like you are unsafe, where you feel like you cannot show up in this authentic way, because again, it seems to trigger some sort of vulnerability or fragility in you. So this King of Pentacles, if that is someone else, it's most likely someone that you know. Yeah, it seems to be someone that you maybe knew like from the past, or maybe you used to be really close, especially because of the Six of Cups is here too. And maybe you used to be really close with them at one point, but it just feels like this is someone who has a very solid head on their shoulders, someone who has their feet firmly planted on the ground. They are very stable and self-assured, and they're just a rational person. Regardless of whether they are male or female, don't get stuck in the gender aspect here. This is just someone who is very, very in control of themselves, who isn't necessarily swayed by emotions too much. But I also feel like there is a kindness or a compassion or a willingness to help or support or impart wisdom. And so it feels like this person is going to help you to like alleviate some of these fears, or possibly bring you more down to earth and out of these thoughts that are simply, again, like keeping you stuck, or bringing about this sense of doubt in you. So I really love this King of Pentacles energy. Whether this is you or whether this is someone else, it just seems like it's exactly the right sort of energy that is going to help alleviate this anxiety, or just to kind of get you out of that nasty feeling of unsteadiness or something like that. Anyway, let's move on and look at the second message regarding what is happening in your near future. Okay. Oh yeah, love this. So we have this key come out, which is so interesting because we had another key here. So the key, it may be a very significant symbol for you. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because it may also be something that you start seeing around you, or it may be a symbol through which your spiritual team talks to you and reassures you that you are doing the right thing, or you are on the right track, or that they are simply close to you, they are supporting you, and they are looking out for you. But zodiac sign wise, we have Leo with the Sun, we have Libra with the Three of Swords, and we have Pisces with the Eight of Cups. Okay, so we are getting this key energy here, and this seems to talk about this opportunity. As I said, I feel like there's a specific opportunity that you have been presented with, and I feel like there is some sort of advancement or going forward with that opportunity. Or maybe for some of you, it may even be that there is a second door that is going to be opening up for you, or some sort of next step that you are being guided towards, or that you are being presented with. So it may be a whole other opportunity for some of you, but for others of you, it seems to be like a next step from the first opportunity that you were presented with. But in either case, it feels like there is forward movement when it comes to like what sort of opportunities are available to you, because we have the Eight of Cups and we also have the Three of Swords in reverse. And I do feel like there is something about overcoming this sadness or this disappointment in yourself for possibly having turned something down, or maybe missing the boat on something the first time around. The Eight of Cups here is indicating that you seem to be choosing to take the risk, to take the plunge, regardless of any fears of disappointment or any fears of failure, anything like that. The Three of Swords coming out in reverse is a really good indication. It's a very positive omen here, that you seem to be able to leave something behind, something that potentially has been holding you stuck or has been slowing you down previously. It feels like you are choosing happiness, you are choosing fulfillment, and you are leaving this place where you are not satisfied, where your needs are not being fulfilled. You are leaving it behind, even though, yes, it may be something that you are well aware of and something that you are very accustomed to, or something that makes you feel safe. but it's just lackluster. It's not really doing anything for you anymore. And so you are leaving it behind and choosing happiness, choosing the potential of the future and what it can bring you, where it can take you. Even though, again, like clearly you know, you don't know exactly where the path is going to take you, but it feels like you are going to sort of take the plunge here anyway, or at least you seem to be presented with an opportunity where it is a lot easier for you to override any fears, override any hesitations, and sort of go for it. Because at the bottom of the deck, we have this beautiful sun card energy, which I absolutely love. And it feels like this opportunity is something that has the potential to bring you a lot of happiness or to set you free. So yeah, this is some really exciting stuff. Let's move on to the third and final message. So let's see what else is happening in the near future for you. Okay, so so we have the card with the birds or cranes, or I think they're cranes, but anyway, don't take my word for it. We have this birds card. We also have the Three of Cups and the King of Wands with the Page of Wands as the underlying energy. Sign-wise, we have Cancer with the Three of Cups, Leo with the King of Wands, and Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius with the Page of Wands. So listen, as soon as I saw this card, I was immediately thinking like soul family or soul friend, like someone who is just like your ride or die, someone who sees you for who you are and someone who roots for you, someone who is really excited and wants to see you succeed. And I feel like that is either you are going to meet someone like that, or a friend that you already have is going to become a lot more significant in your life. Now, the reason why I also say that is because of this Three of Cups here. So the Three of Cups is talking about this carefree time of enjoyment, of celebration, coming together with friends and just having the time of your life. But it's also an energy of feeling supported, feeling like you truly belong and that you are amidst your people or like-minded people. And because we have this King of Wands here too, I'm feeling this energy of being like propped up or feeling, okay, maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but getting this level of support or encouragement that seems to be building up your confidence. I do feel that this King of Wands, more strongly, I feel that it is your energy, where you sort of start believing in yourself more as a result of this support or as a result of this encouragement. But, you know, it may also be someone else. So this King of Wands, especially if they are a fire sign, again, whether they are male or female, doesn't really matter. It's just a very, again, a very warm, a very supportive and uplifting energy. Someone who really believes in you or in what it is that you do and in your talent. So this is the sort of visionary energy with the King of Wands. But again, as I said, I feel more strongly that this is the result of the sort of energy that you seem to take up more as you are being uplifted or supported by certain friends or certain people who just see you for who you are and really see and value the skills that you have. At the bottom of the deck, we have this Page of Wands. And so this seems to talk about just starting to like communicate more, or maybe starting to enliven your social life. Maybe you are actually invited someplace by, again, a friend that you haven't seen in a while. Maybe you come across some group of people that end up really being like your people, or where you feel a true connection with certain individuals as a result of trying some sort of new hobby, or possibly going traveling, or trying something new. This Page of Wands is just a very explorative sort of energy, and so yeah, I really love that there is this enlivening that seems to happen here. And it also seems to be as a result of you starting to feel a lot more safe to be seen, a lot more safe to actually express yourself with your true gifts, with this talent that you have. And yeah, it all seems to kind of add up and make it even more easy for you to come out of the shadows, to not hide this beautiful gift that you were given and that you have, I feel like, worked really, really hard to hone to the level that it is now. But pile number 2, those were the messages. Let's close the reading out with a last oracle card message too. This is simply a loving support message from Spirit. So let's see what they want you to know. Whoa. We are getting so many cards here, but I guess we are taking them. So we have mountains, stand your ground. This to me feels like a message of needing to stay true, needing to hold on, even if you feel yourself faltering or wavering. Like you may have doubts, you may have fears, but stand your ground is a very clear message from Spirit that you are meant to have these gifts. You are meant to do what you are doing, right? Or what you feel that lights you up. So we also have arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. Yes, see, I feel like that is talking about, first off, these energies that you may be surrounded by right now that are making these fears or making these doubts worse, or that are exaggerating these anxieties in you, or yeah, making things seem even bigger and even more scary than they really are. But also I feel like again, this is talking about the need to be mindful of your own thoughts, right? And how much you allow those to take over. And we also have drum, dream and journey. I mean, even though this card actually talks about like literal dreaming, I feel like this is mainly talking about encouraging you to let your mind wander, to like, but not in, again, not like go crazy with all sorts of like fears and doubts and all of that, but to let your mind wander into like the best case scenarios, the best sort of possibilities, and what your life would look like if you really lived and made this craft or this skill of yours like the thing, like your thing. I feel like this is just an encouragement to visualize what life could be and see where it takes you. At the bottom of the deck, we have She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. I feel like this is tied to this, again, this gift, this skill of yours, and Spirit just urging you to let it out, to let it shine, to let it like fully manifest the way that it wants to without feeling the need to restrain it or modify it or make it more palatable for people or something like that. You know, this, especially with the full moon at the back here too, this feels like just showing yourself, showing this skill that you have, however unique it is, even though I know that I was talking about like maybe more traditional skills or traits before, but like it can really be anything, and especially if it's something quirky or something that not a lot of people are used to or not a lot of people know about. Especially in that case, I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to just let it out, to just let it be what it is, and feel confident in the fact that it was given to you for a reason, right? You were meant to do something with this. So yeah, pile number 2. Wow, this was such an interesting reading. I hope that you had fun listening to these messages and that it spoke to you. If it did, and if you are still here, by the way, please leave me a key emoji in the comment section. You may have already seen this one coming because we had the key symbol quite heavily in this reading. So please leave me a little key emoji so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, that it spoke to you, and that it gave you something useful or at least fun. And as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, more insights, and more fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so excited to jump into these messages with you and see what we can find out about your near future. But I also want to say a quick thank you before we get to the cards and just really, say how grateful I am for any support that you have shown me or this channel. It really means so much to me. So thank you for any likes and comments and subscribes and all of that. But let's get into it. So you chose the She Who Forgives, Remorse, Guilt, Forgiveness, and you also chose the Sagittarian Astro die, which I'm going to put over here because, there's not really much to look at here. But what I'm feeling is that pile number 3, at this time you could be in a space where you are looking at the big picture and you are able to kind of zoom out a bit and really consider things from all aspects rather than jumping to any conclusions or reacting from a very hot-headed place. There's something quite grounded and stable and wise about your energy. Maybe this whole maybe these keywords of like forgiveness and remorse or whatever, maybe all of these keywords are also talking about you as a person, that you have these traits within you and you have the ability to forgive quite easily. I don't know whether easily is the right word, but I just feel like you kind of see the value in keeping your relationships intact and maintaining good connections with people instead of just, doing any making any rash decisions or cutting people out of your life willy-nilly. You seem to think much more big picture than that. And instead of allowing certain impulses or emotions in the moment to take over you, you seem to have quite a good control or quite a good grasp on yourself and a good level of control over those emotions. So I feel like there is this level-headedness that I feel about you. And it may be that you are currently in this position where you do need to forgive someone, or where you maybe have to deal with a certain instance that took place, a certain argument or a misunderstanding or something like that. And maybe you are in the middle of that sort of process right now. So, even though it may be like more easy for you to forgive or to not get stuck in the past and keep looking forward, keep looking toward the future, it's still not easy to just brush things aside and not get affected by the disappointments or the betrayals or the hurts that people can cause us, right? And I mean, even if it wasn't intended, even if it wasn't something done intention or like purposefully, it still hurts, right? Like if people mess up or make mistakes, which again, it's normal that happens, but it still affects us, right? And I feel like that's the case here too, that, maybe you are still trying to come to terms with how you are feeling and how this whole thing impacted you. But I also feel like you are, again, it almost feels like it's quite natural for you to be the bigger person and to kind of push that egoic desire or impulse to like get someone back for what they've done or to like level the even out the playing field or something like that. I was just about to say that it's Mercury retrograde still and my tongue is so twisted. I keep messing up the words. I can't think of the expressions that I want to say and all of that. So, don't mind me. And just as I was trying to say that, my camera shut off yet again because it's still incredibly hot. And it's a mess. I'm sorry, pile number 3. Please bear with me. But anyway, I feel like I was kind of done with this intuitive part anyway. So if you recognized yourself in this, if that sounded like what you are going through right now, or it sounded like you, then stay tuned for these oracle card messages, because, you know, even if you recognize yourself somewhat, but maybe you are not 100% sold that this is your pile, these oracle cards are going to hopefully help you out in determining whether this pile is yours or not, because these cards are going to talk about what is occurring in your life right now. So what is it that you are dealing with at this time? And hopefully as you listen to these messages, the picture should sort of come together, and it should be a lot easier for you to recognize yourself. We have creative fire. I'm laughing because Sagittarius is a fire sign, so it's just a cool coincidence. We also have metamorphosis with butterfly. Oh my god, I hope I can get through this reading. We have limitless possibility, fun, and cozy up with risk. So pile number 3, I'm looking at these cards, and even though I'm not necessarily seeing a specific card of like relationships or anything like that, but I'm getting the feeling, because of this intuitive part as well, that this whole situation and this current energy that you are in has something to do with you and another person. Again, it doesn't have to be like a romantic thing per se. This can talk about you and a friend, or you and a co-worker, you and a mentor, or I don't know, a sibling or a family member, anything like that really. But yeah, let's get into it. So these 2 cards here with creative fire and cozy up with risk, both of those cards are very much clearly displaying, or you know, there is a fire embedded in both of these cards. So the energy of fire, and fire as an element, seems to be a very important theme here at this time, or important theme for you. It feels like your emotions could be quite stirred up, especially with this creative fire. There seems to be quite a lot of passion that is driving you at this time, or that is behind this whole situation that we are talking about. And cozy up with risk, it feels like you may be taking a chance on something or someone. I'm going to also talk about the whole situation as it is referring to a relationship of some kind, because as I said, it just feels like that's the energy that you seem to be in right now with someone, where it's kind of in a tricky spot potentially. But again, it feels like you are working through your feelings and you're trying to come out of it. So this cozy up with risk, especially next to fun, it feels like you are trying to look at the bright side of things, or focus on the positives, especially with fun. This feels like a more lighthearted energy, and not taking things overly seriously, not getting too bogged down or dragged into the negative emotions that could very easily crop up. And I don't know, with this cozy up with risk, it just feels like you are choosing to give someone a second chance, or choosing to allow someone to surprise you in a positive way. Even if they have let you down, or even if they have messed up in some sense, it feels like you are having this attitude of, you know, that's just people, and that's just relationships. Like, things go wrong, and people mess up. And I feel like you are trying to keep that sort of mindset here. We also have metamorphosis and butterfly, and I do sense that a certain relationship is in the process of changing. Now, I do feel like it is because of what someone else did, or how something was impacted as a result, like how this relationship was impacted as a result of what happened. But and maybe, like, I don't want this to sound like you know, this other person is completely in the wrong. Maybe this was a two-sided thing. Maybe both of you did something that played a part in this whole situation going a bit south. But it does seem like you are in the position to accept this other person's apology, or decide whether you want to keep this relationship going, or to give this a chance to progress. But yeah, with this metamorphosis, it really just feels like there is a change in the dynamic, and possibly this new chance being given to this thing. We also have this limitless possibility. And so this seems to be, again, hinting at you having the power in this instance, or you having the opportunity to decide how you want this thing to go, or what direction or what the fate of this relationship is going to be. And maybe if it's not even talking about specifically you having that power, it just feels like there are currently so many unknowns about this connection, and there are so many ways in which this thing could go, because it feels like it is such a new or fragile place where this connection is at the moment. And my camera shut off again mid-sentence, so yeah, honestly, I don't know what this is going to turn into and whether we're actually going to be able to finish this reading, but I'm going to try and speed up so that, you know, hopefully we would get all the messages out. But anyway, yeah, so again, I lost my train of thought. I can't remember what I was talking about, but thankfully, again, it was coming to the point where I was almost done with this part anyway, or I was kind of finishing the last sentence. So yeah, again, if you resonated with those messages, pile number 3, hopefully, you know, hopefully it made enough sense to someone out there to know that this is your reading. And if that's the case, then stay tuned for these next messages, where we are going to look at what is happening in the near future for you. Basically, we're doing it a bit differently this time. We are going to look at certain oracle cards as well, in addition to some tarot cards. So we're going to get 3 oracle card messages out, and then we're going to open those messages up with tarot cards. So let's see what is happening in the near future for you. Okay, so there were so many cards that wanted to come out at one point, but there were way too many, so yeah. Anyway, we have some birds coming out, and we also have the 5 of Cups and the High Priestess with the King of Pentacles as the underlying energy. I'm pointing out some of the zodiac signs that are coming through here in case you resonate with them or you recognize them around you as this other person involved. We have Taurus with the King of Pentacles and Scorpio with the 5 of Cups, and we have Cancer or Pisces with the High Priestess. So I am going to start off with this card here, and I absolutely love that you got this card, because this is a card of friendship and seeing eye to eye, coming together, and sort of having this common appreciation, or this like mutual appreciation for each other. And this is very often a friendship sort of card to me, and I just love that you get that, because it does seem like in the near future, this relationship is going to improve, or at least it feels like there is this moment where you can really get sort of deeper with each other, or kind of really understand where both of you are coming from. And it does seem to be a very mutual sort of thing. It's not just that you understand what made them act the way that they did, and it's not that, yeah, it's not this like one-sided thing. It feels like they can also understand you better, and how this whole situation may have impacted you, even though, again, you seem to be kind of like taking it on the chin, or not really making a big deal out of it. But I feel like they are starting to understand you a bit better. Now, we also have this 5 of Cups and the High Priestess here. And it does seem like this 5 of Cups seems to indicate, for some reason, I'm feeling that this is the internal emotional landscape of this other person, and what made them act the way that they did, and what made them like disappoint you in the first place. With the High Priestess, it feels like they are like, it's something that they maybe haven't even acknowledged themselves, or that they haven't dared look at. But I feel like there is some sort of surfacing of understanding, or getting in touch with something deeper within themselves, and really seeing that place of like self-sabotage, or where they are undermining their own relationships, and sort of acting against their own best interests because of some sort of like old wound, or some sort of belief that they have about themselves that is kind of unhealthy. And so it just feels like this relationship is sort of getting to this place where you can really connect on a deeper, more intimate level as a result of some possible secrets, or like not secrets that have been intentionally kept, but just secrets that are very personal, something about this inner landscape. If you can hear that, by the way, that is thunder because the weather is crazy. So again, hopefully you can look past that. But anyway, this is, this showing or revealing of some sort of deep or deeply protected emotions and deeply held back emotions. That seems to be the cause of this sort of coming together, or where you can really connect. And yeah, it feels like a deepening or a very emotional, like an emotionally intimate sort of moment that you are going to be having with that person. We also have the King of Pentacles. That is the underlying energy here. And again, this seems to talk about this relationship becoming stronger or more solid, like the foundation of your connection. It seems like there is a true possibility of like fortifying it and making it more long lasting, because this is Taurian energy, and Taurus is the most loyal of all of the zodiac archetypes. And also, like when it comes to things being long lasting, this is a fixed earth sign. Like this is the most stable and unmoving that you can get, really. So yeah, this seems to talk about this whole connection possibly becoming a lot stronger and having this beautiful foundation to progress from. So I just want to say, maybe this is more of a specific message, but I feel like some of you may even be surprised by what you hear or by what this other person reveals to you. So some really unexpected things may surface and kind of crop up that you weren't ever expecting. But I feel like it's going to make you see that other person's point of view so much more easily, or really like understand them. And yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what else is around the corner for you. Okay, so we have a peacock, we have the star, that is Aquarius, we have the Two of Wands in reverse, which is Aries, and the Lovers, which is Gemini. So I want to start with the peacock energy here, because this is telling me that there is this newfound level of pride or self-love, self-appreciation that I feel coming through here. And it seems to be a very healthy sort of one, because we have the star that is here as well. And the star is a very healing, a very soft and soothing sort of energy. And I feel like, especially because it's coming out with the Two of Wands in reverse, that there could be something that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to dream about, or that you haven't allowed yourself to venture into. Maybe there have been certain things where you have been like reining it in a bit, or keeping a bit of a modest attitude, or where there have been certain restraints in place. And I feel like those restraints have come from within you, or where you have tried to maybe be a bit more rational and like tone down that explorative, wild and expansive side of you that seems to very much be tied to this Sagittarian energy that is coming through here too. But yeah, I feel like there is something about like those restrictions coming down, or you letting go of those restrictions and kind of letting loose and starting to allow yourself to think bigger, to want more for yourself. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Lovers card at the underlying, or as the underlying energy here, and it's making me, I don't know, it's making me think that this is not talking about the relationship necessarily, but it is talking about the sort of internal connection that you have with yourself. And that there seems to be some sort of up leveling that happens there. Yeah, it just feels like you start allowing yourself more. And like what that is specifically, I really couldn't say, but it feels like maybe you are starting to dream of some sort of a bigger dream, as silly as that may sound. Just allowing your mind to roam freely and potentially, again, allowing certain things, allowing certain indulgences for yourself that make you feel better about yourself. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was more of a specific message. Maybe someone knows what this is talking about, but anyway, let's move on to the third and final thing that you can look forward to in the near future. Okay, so we have, sorry, you can't see it. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, both of which are earth sign energies, and especially Virgo with the Eight of Coins. But the Page of Pentacles, again, we could have Taurus or Capricorn, and the Moon is a card of Pisces. Again, I don't know whether this is a more of a specific message or not, but this just feels like there is something that you are like reorganizing or getting very clear on. This seems to be something that you are doing, or something that you are aiming towards, because we have this Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Coins here. So it feels like there is something, some sort of project of yours or some sort of goal, something that seems to be actually completely separate from this whole relationship thing that was unfolding here. This seems to be very personal to you, something that like is maybe even more of a secret or little side hustle that you haven't shared with anyone really, because I don't know why, but the Page of Pentacles feels like this is something that is only for you and something that only you or like maybe a very select few people know about. And the Eight of Pentacles just seems like this is something, again, some sort of like passion project or something that you have been working on behind the scenes, something that you want to turn into more of a steady influence in your life or a steady presence. This may be something that, again, you want to start making money with, or something that you want to turn into a profitable business even. But yeah, it just feels like it could be something that you maybe put on the back burner for a while, or something that you haven't had too much time or energy to focus on. But with this like Tibetan bowl, you seem to be like re-energizing it, or like clearing the old energy, clearing the old and stagnant, stale energy, and breathing new life into it. So I feel like as the situation with the relationship resolves, or as you get to a better place with them, you have more time and more energy and more space to focus on, again, your own personal things, and sort of stop prioritizing yourself again. Because I feel like whatever this thing is that you are in now, it seems to be almost like this emergency thing, or something that is very much at the forefront of everything, something that you have to put in all of your energy and attention on. Well, maybe not all of it, but it just feels like it's a very overpowering sort of thing, and you can't really deal with anything else normally before you have handled that thing, or before that thing has been resolved. And I feel like as that gets resolved, you can move on to other things. And as the underlying energy, we have the Moon coming out. And so again, I feel like it's something that has been in the shadow, something that you seem to be following, something that you seem to be wanting to pursue, but that first off, again, the Moon is also saying that this may be a secret, something that a lot of people don't know about, but also that hasn't been a fully planned out or strategized thing. It's something that you seem to follow based on an instinct of some kind, and maybe it's something more so creative as well, because we're dealing with the water element here. Obviously you are working on it very like pragmatically, and it's not like an abstract thing, I don't feel like, but yeah, it could be maybe a creative endeavor of some kind. Yeah, that is that, pile number 3. Hopefully these messages made sense to you, and hopefully they gave you something useful. But we're going to close the reading out with a last oracle card message. This is going to be a loving support message from Spirit to close this reading out. So let's see what they have for you. Okay. Wow, we are getting so many cards here. And I'm trying to work as quickly as I can so that my camera would hang in there. Oh my goodness, you cannot imagine the level of anxiety that is in me. Okay, we have Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. So this feels like it's just, I mean, you don't have to put that much focus or emphasis on this ancestral part, but it just feels like there are some sort of patterns that you are potentially breaking. And maybe you are, setting in place new patterns, new dynamics, something like that. We also have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. I actually feel like this is talking about this last part that we were talking about. This feels like it's talking about the personal projects of yours or the things that you are working on behind the scenes. This just feels like Spirit is encouraging you to pour yourself into those things and enjoy that process and the fruits of those labors, or yeah. Anyway, and we also have Air Guardian, shift your perception. And this card, funnily enough, seems to talk about this central message that we had here with the Star and the Two of Wands and all of that. With this shift your perception, it feels like Spirit is asking you to, again, broaden your mind and come out of this sort of quote-unquote box that you have been in, and see things from a wider perspective, which I feel like, again, should be something that you are really good at, but it feels like there has been something that maybe you have been limiting yourself regarding, and Spirit is urging you to think bigger, right? To really break free of any restraints that you may have placed upon yourself. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. I love it because, again, this is almost like a promise that the relationship, this whole thing that we have been talking about, is going to come to a peaceful solution, or there is going to be this simmering down of energies, this tension, or this whole ordeal that we started the reading off with. It feels like that is going to be solved, and you're able to leave it behind, move on from it. And yeah, start focusing on other things, more productive things, I want to say. So pile number 3, oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't believe that we actually made it to the end of this reading. This was the most, like, again, seriously, the most tense reading that I have done, the most anxious reading that I have done in a while. And I feel like my pulse is up there, really, really up there. Thank you for being here, and leave me, let's see, if you are still here, if you made it all the way through, oh my God, like you are seriously the real deal. And I cannot even say how much I appreciate you. But leave me a flamingo. I hope there is a flamingo emoji. Leave me a flamingo in the comment section down below so that I would know that you are still here, you watched this thing all the way through, and that, yeah, that you are the bomb. But anyway, thank you, and I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. Please take care. Bye-bye.